artificial intelligence and elections. It's an interesting cross-section that is getting more and more attention, especially as AI video continues to, get more proficient and more and more people falling for it. I'll tell you a quick story here. I should have probably pulled this video up because it is kind of bizarre. I had a friend tell me the other day, he's like, hey, did you see that video of President Donald Trump getting hit in the face with a boom mic? And I hadn't seen it yet. And then I thought about it the following day, and I just searched X for Trump microphone. And the first video I saw showed President Trump getting hit in the face with a boom microphone. Just a quick little brush of the face. And then all of a sudden, that microphone started rubbing it all over his face. And then another microphone comes in and Trump starts kissing it. And obviously it was artificial intelligence video. But that was the first video I saw of it. And then I had to search a little bit further to find the actual real video, which wasn't that long. And just a little brush on the face and a quick kind of side glance from the president. So artificial intelligence video is definitely going to escalate as the technology gets better. How's that going to be used in political campaigns? It's a conversation that's being had at the Illinois State House, and in particular in the Illinois Senate. They had a 3+ hour hearing the other day dealing with like 13 bills touching on AI and social media and keeping kids protected from the troubles that can cause people's lives whenever they interact with AI on social media and a whole host of other things. But one thing they focused on too was artificial intelligence being used in political campaigns and how people are using it. Are they going to use it to make their opponents look ridiculous? Are they going to use it to punch up their messaging? Are they going to use it to make themselves look better? How is AI going to be used? And in particular, how are consumers of political content going to be impacted by this? And what level of transparency should be forced onto these political campaigns? So that's the question that they raised right off the bat of this Illinois Senate's AI committee. State Senator Steve Stottleman, he started off talking about the questions that they hope to address in this overall theme of AI in politics.
AI-generated fake media in political ads is making the problem much worse, and I think poses a clear risk to our elections. These so-called deepfakes use technology to misrepresent someone is doing or saying something they did not. At the national level, one example, people in New Hampshire a few years ago received a robocall from President Biden discouraging them from heading to the polls to vote. It's critical that the state of Illinois do what we can to ensure that AI is not deployed to undermine the public's trust through this disinformation, especially today's political climate.
So clearly some concerns raised there. It's not just video content, it's images and even audio content. What's amazing is I could find a program to essentially take my image and I could put in 3 minutes of audio of me just talking, and then I could feed it a script, and then it would produce this show. It would be completely computer generated, and a trained eye would be able to see that's fake. That's not really Bishop there. But we're entering this new era, and it's alarming to some people. Other people are excited by it for some reason. But either way, how is this going to impact elections? But also, how is it going to impact free speech? The ACLU of Illinois, Stephen Reagan was part of this committee hearing with the Senate and laying out some of their concerns they have when it comes to free speech and restricting political campaigns from using certain tools that may enhance their messaging.
There are many benign uses of AI that are not deceptive or harmful. For example, a candidate might use AI to come up with new ways to phrase an old message or to help identify patterns in an opponent's voting record. AI can be a creative tool in the editing process to brighten colors or lighten blemishes without affecting the underlying content. And it appears that these uses of AI would have to be labeled as generated by AI, which sends a message that this content is not trustworthy. As written, the bill provides that each distribution or airing to the public is an infraction. The specter of large fines will chill and discourage core First Amendment speech.
So clearly this could launch some litigation if this measure ultimately does advance to require some kind of transparency of, hey, this ad was created using AI. Even if the ad was used to, AI was used to punch up the copy. What's written and spoken, used AI to make that happen, or to lighten up an image, or to add some, what do you call, captions, right? There's all these AI tools that you can feed video into, and it'll go through and clip out what you want. It'll add captions. It'll even keep you centered into the screen if you're using it as like for shorts, for instance. I mean, these are tools that are readily available, and political campaigns obviously using them. Even President Donald Trump during the campaign would share some AI generated content. Was it labeled as created by AI, or should the consumer of this just be cognizant that that's out there and possible, and be discerning, right? Because the concern is that if you label this as created by AI, then it could diminish or taint the message as being not trustworthy. So there's that concern there as well. Tyler Deers, he is with the organization TechNet, didn't necessarily take a position on this, but just gave a warning that there's a lot of questions about the legality of some of these things.
Creators of political content that includes material deceptive media should have an obligation, we believe, to provide clear disclosures. We support statutory language that would ensure that liability for dissemination of such media is limited to the person or the creator who creates and disseminates it, and not the intermediaries such as internet service providers or platforms or tools that may be used in its creation. We've seen legal First Amendment challenges on these bills in states like Minnesota and California that have recently enacted this. So again, it may just be worthwhile to see how these settle, or to examine some of the legal arguments around the First Amendment. So
clearly a lot of different aspects when it comes to how this could be dealt with by the courts as well. This was just one of a series of bills that they discussed concerning AI and how it's being used in political messaging. I'm going to see if I can find this really quick because it was kind of funny. Let's see here. This one. I'm sorry. Okay. So, yeah. Ooh, all right. That's super loud. Sorry about that. We'll just rewind this a little bit. So this is a different microphone AI video that was of the president. So you got the initial bump, all right, and then somebody just puts it into AI, and the microphone's going crazy on the president's face, and it's bizarre, right? It's something that we're going to see a lot more of, and even though this is considered parody, it's still, you could see how. Jeez. You can see how that could possibly get out of hand real quick, especially right before an election. So deep fakes, AI, how's all this going to be regulated, if they can regulate it at all, because of First Amendment questions? State Senator Sue Rezin, who has several bills concerning AI and social media and youth on social media and protecting youth on social media. She had a back and forth with the sponsor of this measure to regulate AI when it comes to political communications, Steve Stottleman. They went back and forth during this committee hearing.
We're all starting to use AI to write a little better, make our pictures a little better, maybe younger, skinnier, whatever. But it is happening. So where is that fine line?
Well, the intent certainly isn't to affect the measures that you mentioned, or the effects of brightness or things like that. It's really an effort to deceive the public regarding content and information. I'm certainly open to address language, improving language to make that distinction and draw that line. But again, the intent here is really trying to provide false information, manipulating it so that people are saying and doing things that they did not do. I think it's pretty clear as far as what the intent is and what we're trying to address here. And it's not simply superficial alterations to the video or the audio.
So we'll likely see some changes in the language to make it clear that, hey, AI, if it's used to just lighten up a video or give you some captions or something like that, well, it's not necessarily in line with what we're talking about, making sure it's transparent. But if you're making your opponent look like it's riding on a unicorn through a rainbow or something like that, then you might have to label that as created by AI. just some of the conversations they're having at the Illinois State House, and we'll see how this all develops before they wrap things up May 31st. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Join us each and every weekday morning as we bring you the news you need to know to get your day going and get the headlines at thecentersquare.com.